Okay, we're looking forward to be at home and playing here at Century Link. It's a big deal for us to get this home season started. Obviously, a little anxious about last week not getting rolling the way we wanted to. We feel very fortunate that we get home and to get to work and bring it to the 12s and see how they're ready for the opener as well. And division game too. All of those things make it a really great opportunity for us to get going. We got to get this thing started.
You confident Thomas Rawls will play Sunday?
I think he will. Yeah, he's got to make it to everyday practice. We haven't practiced yet, so we'll do it one day at a time. But he looks to be prepared to go, and that's what we're counting on until we can't.
What have you learned so far about Eddie Lacy's role and how that may fit in?
I think he looks like he's looked in the past. He's, like I've told you, he's in great shape. He's ready to go. He knows what we're doing. We got to make sure and give him space and get him going. He had a couple runs, but we did a couple runs that didn't get going because of what we did up front. So I think he's doing fine.
What's the first step toward getting the running game going like you guys want it to?
The first step was taken 9 months ago, 10 months ago, whenever we started this thing, and just disappointed that we didn't get the ops in that because of a lot of things that happened in the game. And we just get to keep doing it, keep chopping wood is really what it takes.
The 49ers, obviously they have a defensive coordinator familiar with here. Do they look a lot like you guys on defense? Or?
We're very similar. Yeah, you can see that the background and Coach Salah's time with us here and then with Gus, there is a big connection there. And they've got their own flavor to it. They've got nuances and things that they do, and of course their people are different, so things don't come out the same. But there's a lot of similarities.
Carlos Hyde, running back, his ability to catch the ball as well in the backfield.
He's a fantastic player. He really is. He plays with great attitude. He's tough. He's elusive. He can do everything. He'll block when he needs to. And as you said, he can catch and run. He's a very, very well-rounded football player.
Pete, how's Will Hoyt doing?
He's going to go to practice today. We'll see. We'll see how he does. He's looking to be back. Counting on him being back. That was the thought going in by holding him back one more week last week. But he's got to go day to day and show us, that he's okay.
Is there anyone besides those guys that you're worried about working through the week at all from an injury standpoint? Or?
Yeah. Yeah, there is.
Do you still look at 49ers as a rival?
If I answered that, I would answer that wrongly because I've never looked at anybody as a rival in that regard. We don't do that. We emphatically don't do that because we don't want to treat anybody different than anybody else. It's a great program that's been in our division. We've been battling with these guys for years. We treat them with the utmost respect, but we don't single people out like that. So I want to help you out with that one.
What did your defense confirm for you on Sunday? You had certain expectations going in.
Oh, I thought they played really well. I thought they did really well, and that's because of the respect that we have for their team and their style and all. It was hard for them to get in position to make a touchdown. They couldn't get down in there, and when we gave them one from the 5, and that was unfortunate. We couldn't stop them, but we made it very difficult on a really good offense and a really good quarterback, and played the running game okay. Got to the quarterback some. If there was one area, it would have been third down that we needed to play better to get off the field to get the ball back to the offense. That was where we came up short. And when you're over 50% on third down conversions, you're not doing things well, and we can do better there.
Is that a matter of coverage or pressure?
Oh no, it's just the game. I mean, it's yes. It's all the stuff. If you remember, their quarterback ran a few times, for first downs as well. So it's a little bit of everything, and that you can do better.
With the running game, when your backs did have room to run, what did you see from them?
Our guys were fine. They're ready to go. They're ready to bust out, and I think our running backs are ready to be very productive. Excuse me.
Pete, are there things that you can do now that you have Sheldon that you could not do in years past? New dimensions that you
I'm going to wait on that. I don't. I said to you that we're going to keep it really strict, for the first week because we're just trying to get them to game time, and we'll continue to do that until there's opportunities to do more. He has done a lot. He has been an outside rusher at times. He's been a dropper. He's done all of those things at some time or another. He played like a linebacker at times for those guys. So we know all of that. We've seen it all. We're just trying to just make sure that he's grooved in what we're doing and he gets comfortable and can play fast and hard for us. And then we'll do some stuff. But there is potential to do more, of course. And but we're not in any rush to do that. We want to get him very much ingrained in what he needs to do just to play on a regular basis first.
What do you like about that rotation that you have on the D-line, specifically also how Naz Jones can factor in?
Well, rotations in the front, guys, has been something we've been doing for years. You know, we just believe in trying to keep those guys fresh, and it also allows us to utilize the guys with their special qualities that they have in different ways. And so, what I like about it is, that we have enough guys that we can rotate when we like them, to get in, to come off the bench and play. And it's with the thought of trying to stay as fast as we can for as long as we can, and that's always been the thought.
Do you have enough defensive tackles, true defensive tackles within that rotation, and how much does, I guess, Michael's versatility make it so you can really only need to carry 3?
Yeah, well, we're okay right now, and as we stay healthy and we move our guys around, Mike does give us a lot of freedom to move and do different things, and so we're okay now. But it's 3 guys is looking. It looks pretty thin sometimes when you're thinking about it, but it's working out okay. So we'll see how we go.
How'd Cliff Averill come out of that?
He's okay. He's fine. I think he tweaked his ankle a little bit, but he's fine. I don't think it's anything to even bother.
You mentioned Monday that Griffin and Coleman too played well in Lane's absence. What would you be apprehensive about in that situation, given that it was Aaron Rodgers at Lambeau Field? What kind of things would a young person screw up?
Well, I think pretty typical things that really easy to declare and write if you want to. Guy gets nervous, guy doesn't handle the situation, he doesn't execute, he gets worried and all that stuff. And none of that stuff happened. Those guys just jumped in there and played. But just the typical things that you would think about. The guy can't play like he's capable because he's distracted for whatever reason. Could be all of those things or one of those things. But fortunately, that wasn't even the case, and Shaq had a terrific first game, and Justin did very well too, as we said. And so I'm not worried about that one bit. We're going to work and just trying to get the guys really sharp and tuned into the game plan right now.
Before you turn the page for this week, what were your coaching points to the team about what happened?
What if I already did?
Could I ask you to back up?
Okay, sure.
And what your coaching points were to them, how you told them what you saw in the season opener.
Yeah, I didn't think we captured the opportunity. We had a game, we were a very tight football game, and we just needed to stay really sharp and clean and fight it out to the end. Looked like it was going to be one of those games. And unfortunately, 2 big things happened, and we didn't get our touchdown, and then we gave them one on the 5, and that was kind of, it was that tight of a game. So the point is we have to play over and above whatever happens in the game. You have to be out ahead of it. So those aren't the factors that get you. And this game was so close, and they're a really good team. They don't make very many mistakes. They made one huge one, and you just have to just outlast them. And when it's nothing going right in before the half, that's a heck of a game. And being ahead at halftime, a heck of a game going on. We don't like the way it felt, and there's things that we could do way better, but we're in a real dogfight, which was great. And unfortunately, we allowed them a couple opportunities. They captured them, capitalized on it, and they get a game.
Pete, it was pretty obvious last week that
I think you're going to see that they're a pretty good team. They're going to be a pretty good club this year, and that they're going to be more productive than they were. They're going to score a lot of points themselves and do a lot of good things too. So, I think it was a pretty good dogfight in that regard, but not satisfying. Yeah.
Mike Bennett was still dealing with the aftermath of what happened in Vegas last week. What about now? You feel like that's kind of behind him, or is he still?
I don't think it's totally behind him. I think he's handling it better. I think it's still it's still in his mind. I think it was that big of an experience to him, and so I think as he's going and taking on the rigors of the challenges of getting ready for another game in the season that's at hand and all, I think he's still dealing with a lot, and I think that's understandable.
Pete, what do you say to fans who say that last year's struggle all over again with the offensive line?
Well, we've only played one game, I just tell them we're going to do really well. We're going to have a really good season, and I hope it shows sooner than later. I don't have any hesitation in telling you that. I love our club. Just unfortunate they didn't start better. That's it. You know, and be really loud and help us out, and we'll show you who we are as these games keep coming to us. It's going to be a difficult, challenging season, as they all are, and hopefully we'll find our stride sooner than later. So a lot of teams didn't score very well, didn't do very well in this first week, and we happen to be one of them. So, you know, I think we're going to be fine.
You had like Reese making his first career start, Affetti was making his first start at the position he was. Do you expect that would be, you know, big improvement from week 1 to week 2, given some of those?
I think there will definitely be improvement as we go through the first month of the season. I think we'll see that. We saw distinct improvement in the preseason, and then we played a game, and we played a game against a bunch of guys that did pretty well. You know, I'm not trying to take anything away from what we did or try to, avoid anything. They're a good team, and they played really good at the line of scrimmage, and we didn't play as well. And so Russell had to move around, and he did. And he was all over the place, making the most of that game, and that's what happened.
What did you learn from the NFL, if anything, on what you wanted to learn? Those plays. What did you learn from the NFL on the plays you asked about?
Oh, I learned a lot. Yeah, I learned a lot.
About those plays did you learn?
No, I'm not going to share it with you because we can't. Really, that conversation about the specifics of it, I told you I thought that the guys calling the game saw it pretty clearly, and you can try, but I'm not going any farther than that. Okay.
Is there anybody you expect to miss this week's game because of injury?
Maybe.
Who might that be?
We'll wait and see. See how it goes. I don't know how it's going to go this week.
Given the trend around the NFL that you just mentioned of some teams having a hard time scoring in week 1 and just kind of the way those games played out, would you anticipate any changes to the way coaches handled preseason games and making sure that it's easier to hit the ground running for week 1?
No, I don't. I don't know that guys do whatever they want to do. I kind of like the way preseason went for us, but if that's the result of it, then we maybe have to tweak something. We're always competing to figure it out and to do it better. And if we played great, I'd say the exact same thing to you. So now, I can't call it anything based on that 1 week, and I think if you do that, you're just doing it just to do it because you don't know. So we'll wait and see. But maybe there's something about, there was a big 6-week break in the off season, and the biggest break we've ever had. Maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know that, but we tried to work over and above that and not let that be the factor. And I don't think that it was. I'm not saying that it was, but that was what was different, this time around.
Pete, I guarantee you this will be your favorite question. Okay.
I'll let you know.
Does Mike Bennett need to wear bigger shoulder pads?
No, this is a good question. No, I don't. They're the smallest shoulder pads I've ever seen. I don't know how. I mean, they look like a Pop Warner quarterback. I don't know how. But he likes it and he's safe with it, and it's done him right. So I don't see a lot of guys following the trend though. So he's kind of out there by himself.
You don't feel like that ever affects his ability or willingness to take on a block or blow people up on the Montgomery touchdown? It looked like there was a pulling guard and maybe kind of. No, you didn't see it. Okay.
Yeah, I did see it.
Pete, today the Canadian Football League made a decision to no longer allow full contact padded practices to reduce collisions the players sustain. Do you think that's, what do you think about that, and do you think it's something the NFL should consider?
Well, we only have, 14 padded practices that we can have at this time, and it's up to the coach's discretion. You can only have 2 in a week, I think once during the season. So we're way closer to that. I would tell you that we spent, in the last couple of years, we practiced thousands of plays during the week without our helmets, and we learned how to do that where we could practice at a tempo, and that we thought could allow us to continue to make progress. And we played pretty good at the end of the season for the most part. We found that you can practice that way, and that was really just maintaining health of our team and all that kind of stuff. But we've done it extensively, and there's a couple great coaches in college football that have never practiced in full speed and never hit anybody and had championship historic careers and doing it. Matter of fact, back in Minnesota, And I've always been aware of the fact that there are other ways to do it than the old classic way, hit every day and all that kind of stuff. So I think it just depends. You got to maintain your fundamentals, and you got to maintain the discipline of the basics of the game. And if you're able to do that, whatever mode you're in, then keep your guys fresher, they're stronger and faster on game day. That's a good thing.
When did you decide that was the best way to do it?
I don't know exactly when it was, but I've been doing this for a long time, and we've just done it more extensively in the last couple of years because our guys bought into how to do it, and you have to still practice with great speed and all that, and they have to cooperate with one another, and we did it throughout entire off seasons as well, and so we're just trying to learn and see what you can get done and how far you can take it, and I have not been dissatisfied with the way it's turned out. It depends on your team. It depends how young your team is and how you're developing and all that. And I'm just saying, for us, it's worked out. So I can understand that they're trying, and I know there's some other coaches that have been talking about it and doing stuff similar. You're just trying to find a competitive edge. That may go that way, then it totally flips and changes another time. So.
John Lynch did a few of your games last year. Did you have an inkling during that time he was maybe going to become
I had no inkling at all. No, that's why I talk so openly and freely with the bugger. Jeez. And we had great conversations for years, and talking about stuff. He was always really interested in why and, and what to expect and all of that. And sure enough, now we're competing against the guys. So he's awesome. And there's no question that he'll do a fantastic job. Whatever John wanted to do, he would do well, just because of his makeup and his competitiveness and his intellect and all of that. And I just might not have talked as much to him if I knew he was going to be the Niners GM. So.
Did that come to mind when you saw that he got hired?
Yes, it did.
What stands out to you about their front seven?
Oh, they're really tall. They're as big and tall as you can get. Armstead and Buckner, those guys are enormous guys. And they're just young guys just coming along, and they're going to be big factors. They look like they're going to be really good.
Anything else? Thank you.